Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight Season 20, Episode 10. Game on or game over? So we're just going to get on into it. I can tell you this, guys. I finally got StreamYard, so I'm going to try to do my videos from here now. So let me know if you guys like the quality. I'm still trying to play around with it, but we're just gonna make it do what it do. All right, so Married at First Sight, season 20, episode 10. So we start off with Marissa and Edward, right? I mean, not Marissa and Edward, Adam and Marissa. Sorry, keep too many Marissas in this cycle. So Marissa and Adam. Um, last week that their whole issues are they're just not opening up deeper with each other. They're just like goofing off with each other and just not like taking things so seriously. Adam has just been like, he has a unique sense of style and everything that makes everybody laugh that Dr. Paul Bronson can't stand. So in this episode, we've seen them play like a little questionnaire game. Marissa had asked Adam like, what is the biggest assumption that people have of you? And he said that that it is the fact that he surfers, like all he wants to do is just like jet ski and all of that and everything. He didn't really take playing that game seriously. He just asked like what is the craziest thing you wanted to do, like what and stuff, and it didn't really matter. And then she asked them like, what is your biggest insecurity? And he said that he was picked on in school a lot because he didn't have I guess he was like kind of skinny. Usually people get picked on when they're overweight, but like he actually got picked on for being too skinny. So he said that he was really insecure growing up with his body and stuff and everything. So they continued to play that game and they shared a little kiss. Later, we've seen Adam and Marissa go and do some clothes shopping, and we've seen him trying some stuff and everything. Like I said, Adam has a very unique sense of style and stuff. And so the more weird outfits he was trying on, Marissa kept on saying, the more he tries on these outfits, the more he gets the ick from me. Because, yeah, like I said, now she's starting to realize is that it doesn't seem like he's really taking this seriously. He's really chilled and laid back, which is cool, but putting in the effort of marriage, that's one thing. So, last week they had to open up at the group therapy session, and remember Dr. Paul told him don't be deflecting and stuff and everything. So yeah, I do agree that Adam needs to start taking this a little bit more seriously. So yeah, that was Adam and Marissa. The next couple I want to talk is Tori and Felipe. Well, we just seen Tori. We seen Tori meet up with her friends and everything to talk about their marriage, how the marriage is going. And they got some really burnt pizza and burnt Italian pizza. I don't know where that pizza was from, but it was a little burnt for my taste. And her and her friends were eating pizza, and Tori begins telling her friends about Felipe's infidelity, cheating in the past, basically. And she told her friends the story that he cheated on somebody and didn't even tell her. And she found out a long time afterwards through the grapevine. And her friends were just like, well, we don't like cheaters over here. We don't do that. But Felipe has not been with a girl like you, Tori. And so, and as of right now, yeah, Tori and Felipe, they've been a little bit more on point and everything. But I still wonder about Felipe, if Felipe still is ready to settle down or not. Right now, it all sounds good. After 10 episodes, yeah, they haven't had a fight or disagreement yet. But with 10 episodes down and 10 to go, anything can happen, basically. So yeah, but her friends like called it out, but as of right now, she's pretty happy and everything. So yeah, I mean that was basically all we've seen out of Tori and Felipe. I'll talk more about it later. And then the next couple was Mech. Well, before I go into the next couples, let's talk about Courtney and Nick. Courtney and Nick. So during their little group therapy session, like, the whole thing is this season with Courtney and Nick is just that Courtney is just way too much in her head. Nick wants her to be all over her. He wants her just to wants her to hug him, kiss him, and everything, show more affection and everything. And Courtney says it just takes time with that, and she doesn't. It's just not her thing really. Now it is Courtney's birthday, right? And she's and they're getting ready to have a big party for her. Nick gives her this nice little cake and wishes her a happy birthday. And she's just like, thank you. But at the therapy session, he was just like, he said that he wants her to loosen up a little bit, be more goofy and stuff. And she's like, you want me to be more goofy? This is just, you want me to loosen up and be more goofy. This is just not the way to do it. But he was nice enough to give her a birthday cake and everything. So they actually had like a whole big birthday party for Courtney and stuff. So the whole cast got together for Courtney's birthday party, and they get to the party, and everybody's coming in wanting to be seated a certain type of way. And the restaurant that they're going to is actually Felipe's restaurant that he owns. Remember, Felipe is a restaurant owner, and he dressed up in all this Italian gear and stuff and everything, and hosted this birthday party for Courtney and stuff. And Courtney had said that she wouldn't want to spend this birthday with anybody else but this group. Now they get to the birthday party. Courtney and Nick come in. All the seats are taken, and like Courtney just did not seem like she wanted to sit with Nick. She said he was just trying to like find a place. Oh, Michelle's sitting here, or Mecca's sitting there, or like I want to sit here and stuff and everything. And Courtney didn't like fight for it or whatever. But ultimately Michelle got up and said, here, you can sit here so Nick could sit next to Courtney. But throughout the whole night, Courtney didn't really speak to Nick. Like she's just like really over. It just seems like she's just not in and everything. So, but they got to sit together, but she just gave him the cold shoulder the whole night. So at the party, Mecca and Bella Jolie talked about like their experience during group therapy, and talked about how like they were like really irritated after group therapy because they felt like people thought that they were being performative and everything. And so like Bella said that like he shuts down, and she told Mecca that you're allowed to shut down, just don't take any anger out on me. And he was like, no, I would never do that. If you don't take your anger out on me, shut down and like do what you got to do to get out of it and stuff and everything. And he said, yeah, he would never do that and everything. But he just like feels a certain type of way. Meanwhile, at this party, once again, Courtney and Nick, they're not really talking to each other. So Devin has been like the MVP of the whole season. He's calling it what it is. Devin was just like, you're shutting him out and everything. She was like, I'm not. He's just not giving me more and everything. And she was like, you need to meet. Devin told Courtney that you need to meet him halfway. And he's like, it's not like that and everything. And she's like, you're shutting it as a man. He needs this, and that and everything. And you're not giving to him. And Courtney was just like, what, Devin, I love you, but I did not need this on my birthday. And he was like, this is exactly what you need on your birthday. You're like, you're not. And then like Courtney started looking on her phone. He was like, look at me. And hear me out. She was like, I hear you. And he was like, no, you're texting and stuff. Now, at that point, Devin did get a little bit too aggressive with Courtney, because one, it is her birthday. She don't need a lecture from you on her birthday, dude. Like, come on now. Like, for real, come on. Like, and he said he was drunk, but still, you don't disrespect the birthday girl. You're not wrong with what you're saying, but there's just a time and a place for it, and that was not the time. Okay. And so Courtney was just like, what? If you're taking his side and everything and you won't listen to me, then F you and F him and everything. You're definitely a boy's boy, which is fine. And he is. Devin is a boy's boy and everything. But Courtney was just like, F you. She called over Caitlin and it was like, come get your boy, come get your man. Caitlyn comes over. She's confused of what's going on. She's like, because everybody else is looking at her and stuff. Like, what's going on? What happened? And she's like, yeah, he's definitely a boy's boy and everything. And then Devin started getting a little pissy with Caitlyn. He was just like, well, as my wife, you need to stand by me. She's like, I can't take any side one way or the other. I do not know what's going on. Like, don't do this to me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what was said. I don't know what they said. I don't know what you said. Just somebody fill me in. And nobody really would fill her in. At least they didn't show. Like, they didn't show what them filling in Caitlyn about Devin's conversation that he had with Courtney and stuff. And Nick is just sitting back and just watching this. I'm like, bro, come on. So the birthday party ends and Caitlyn and Devin go back to the apartment and they get into a big argument. Caitlyn is just like, Courtney had made a comment to Caitlyn saying, yeah, I can see why you can't live with him. He don't know how to shut up. And like they get into a big like drunken argument. She's like, I cannot do this. Caitlyn was like to Devin, I cannot do this. Like I don't live my life like this. Like you're effing wasted and everything. And he was like, well, as my wife and everything. No, as my wife, nothing. Like, no, I do not want to talk about this right now. Like, you were aggressive. You're coming on to me too strong. And then Devin tried to give Caitlyn a hug. He's like, nope, do not touch me. Do not touch me right now. Like, we'll go to bed. We'll talk about this in the morning and stuff. Yeah, it's just, normally I'm on Devin's side, but he was dead wrong in this episode. He was dead wrong. He did not need to be that aggressive to both Courtney and his wife. So later the next day, we seen Caitlyn and Devin in the car. They're pretty much like their head hurts. They need some medicine, and they actually had like a legitimate conversation. He apologized on how his behavior acted that way that he acted, and she's like, basically, it's one thing to have nights like this. Just don't make it a pattern to where like we have moments like this. I'm okay with like forgetting about it and moving on, but like do not make this a habit, basically. And they hugged it out, and that was that. So yeah. So next we see Mecca and Bella Jolie have a therapy session with Dr. Paul. And Dr. Paul, Mecca told Dr. Paul that he was offended by what he said during the group therapy session, and was offended about what Michelle said about like how they were acting, being performative. And Mecca said, I hold you, Dr. Paul, to a high regards and to a high standard, and so is Michelle. And Dr. Paul said, you know what? If you felt like I was attacking you and offended you, I apologize sincerely. I never meant to attack you. I just wanted you to see that I'm just trying to shake you, just shake off these barriers, basically. So Dr. Paul asked Mecca, like, do you feel like talking about your mom? And he said, yeah, he just felt like with his mom not being there, he like gravitated towards more his father growing up and stuff and everything. And he still has that fear like, people are just going to abandon him and everything. And, Bella told him that, like, you guys got to, Dr. Paul told them both that you got to work to love each other, basically. You got to work to get to that love, and know that Bella is basically that type of person who is ride or die for you and everything. So, just like work through that and everything. So after that session, Mecca and Bella Jolie, they went to go play some basketball. They met up at the basketball court, tried to play a little quick game of horse. And first they were like, hey, I got this court. Oh, you got this court. Let's play a game of horse. So they play a game of horse, and of course Mecca beats her. Mecca kind of cheated at the end because he did a dunk, and then Bella Jolie was just like, okay, okay, you win. And the winner gets a kiss. So, with Mecca and Bella Jolie, they have a good friendship. As I said throughout the whole season, that their friendship is great, that they are the exact same person. but it is, still I'm still trying to figure out when it's going to come on a deeper level for them, basically. So yeah, that was Megan Village. Then we had another. Then we're going to talk Michelle and Cameron. Michelle and Cameron. So this episode, Michelle and Cameron go to Michelle's apartment, or Michelle's condo, I should say, and she has a roommate. She has a male roommate, but there's no threat there. He comes in, and Michelle's condo was beautiful, and the roommate said that Michelle designed pretty much the whole layout of the apartment, and even their little island that they had, that she put the design. And Cameron was just like, wow. Like, I'm not intimidated, but man, I got to step up my game. Michelle is Michelle really got it going on, and she does. Now, little one thing about Michelle, like the only thing I don't like about Michelle is when she asks the experts for someone who made 100K, and so that's the only issue I have with Michelle. But so they had a conversation with the roommate and stuff and everything, and they talked about, like, I think his name was, what was his name? Okay, we had Cam, and was it Sam? Cam and Sam or something, like, I think his name was Sam or something like. And he was just like, I'm not ready to move out yet, but if I would, I would, like trace Sam with Cam or something like that, and everything. And they talked about how their relationship is going, and Cam said that they haven't really disagreed about anything, and they haven't really argued about anything. They're just riding the waves, and they're they're making it do and stuff and everything. And you know what? Michelle and Cameron are a good example of what Married at First Sight is. They're working through everything, and it doesn't mean you have to argue, because even though you don't get exactly what you want, for the most part, like every single one of these people on Married at First Sight in all 20 seasons are attractive in some kind of way. And I get that people have preferences and stuff, but because a lot of people are just like, oh, he's not my type, she's not my type, I like this type and everything. But this is what this whole process is about. Just it's not just always about looks and everything. It's just how you're going to manage yourself. Now, Michelle and Cameron are two good looking people, but I really like their dynamic, and I wish we get to see a little bit more of them. I wonder if at this point, did Cameron leave for his basketball trip yet and came back yet? I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Because remember, right now I'm just doing episode 10 right now. I have to watch 11 and 12 and then do that recap later and stuff. But yeah. So that was Michelle and Cameron. But yeah, kudos to Michelle for that apartment and that design. Like she is phenomenal, really phenomenal when it comes to that. So good job, Michelle. So then now we have a therapy session with Dr. Lisa for Courtney and Nick. And Courtney and Nick, it's just the same thing. They talked about what happened at the birthday party, about the seating arrangements and stuff and everything. And and everything. And Dr. Lisa said, like, you guys are just like both really in your head, and you guys are really like basically overthinking this too much and everything. Um, Courtney just wants a certain type of she just wants everything done her way, and Nick, same with Nick. They both want things done their way. Now, now, Courtney made a valid point, a valid comment. As they were getting ready to come to the therapy session, Courtney said that Nick was like standing outside or whatever, and says she takes a long time putting on her makeup and getting ready. She said that, what if I just bring my makeup stuff out to the patio or the porch or whatever and do it in front of you? And he thought, oh wow, that's great. And Nick had mentioned that in the therapy session and everything. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Like, if you just like communicate that stuff with me, I could go along with it. But Courtney was just like, I said that, to try something different, but I thought that he would have thought that was weird at first. And then Nick kind of got mad. He was just like, why would you think that was weird and everything? Because basically he wants you to do that kind of stuff. Like, he wants you to communicate, hey, like, here, you know what? since I take a long time getting ready, you ready? Like I'll just come out hang out with you while I finish getting ready. Like that's basically what he wants and stuff and everything. No, it's not weird because just because how Courtney's been treating him and just giving him the cold shoulder a lot and everything. And I get it's timing. I understand it's timing and everything. Plus, Nick's been on multiple reality dating shows already. So, but he just wants Dr. Lisa just told him like you guys really need to get out of your head. Basically, you guys can make this work and everything, but just like really get out of your head. So, but yeah, that was Courtney and Nick again. And the last couple, of course, I would say them for last is Nikki and Sean. So Nikki and Sean, they're having a romantic dinner, right? And Sean asked them like, what would be the steps that we can take to say yes on decision day? And she said that we had a little slow start, a rough start, but just keep developing and just keep talking to each other and just like being honest with each other and genuine and stuff and everything. And then Sean made a really unique request. He it was a basis. It was about the sex life. He said something about like he basically wants to have sex without having sex, basically. And he said like along the lines, it's the like wife's duties, like basically explore other stuff in the bedroom and everything. Like, and he said like some kind of menstrual masturbation or whatever. Like, I don't even know. I don't even want to get into it. Nikki thought it was weird, but oh well. But so they go back to their apartment and they play a game of you don't have any sense. And so what and you don't have any sense means is that Sean is gonna blindfold Nikki and tie her like and everything, and then she has to like play around and play around and like do the five senses or whatever. They play that. It was cool, whatever, and everything. And then they had the conversation about Sean's comment about like basically exploring other things in the bedroom. And Nikki was just like, like I felt like pressure. You already know I told you like it's gonna take time before we get to that point, since we just met each other and stuff and everything. Um, but when you said it was like my wifely duties, and Sean was like, no, once again, here we go again. And they start arguing again. I did not say it was your wifely duties. I'm just saying let's explore and everything. So like, but she was just like, well, you keep putting pressure on me. And he was like, I'm not putting pressure on you and this and that and everything. So Nikki and Sean cannot go a full episode without arguing. It always starts off what is either one episode starts off well, ends in an argument. Then the episode will start off with the argument and it'll end well. They are so up and down. After thinking about it now, there's been rumors online saying that Sean might be gay and stuff. I don't fall into those rumors and stuff and everything. He's very particular, in my opinion. He knows exactly what he wants, and I can see myself a little bit in Sean a little bit because he'll say things that people will take the wrong way and it's really not meant that way, kind of like in this situation and stuff and everything. He just wants to basically he needs to work on his wording. There are times where I need to work on my wording because then that offends people. But whatever the case, Nikki gets really defensive really easily. So does Caitlyn really. And they both get defensive really easily and stuff. So, but yeah. So that was basically it for this episode. Again, I'm gonna watch episodes 11 and 12 and come back tomorrow to recap that. But yeah, just I like how I just do it, breaking it up by breaking two videos from Married at First Sight since they air 3 every week. And yeah, we're halfway through the season, y'all. We're almost at. I'm kind of sad because I do like the season. But yeah, I know it's going to get juicy as time progresses and we get close to decision day because there's only 3 weeks left until decision day. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining this channel. I hope you guys enjoy my content. Um, like I said, I had lost a few subscribers throughout the week, so check if you are subscribed, because YouTube likes to do that purge where they unsubscribe you. Or if you intentionally unsubscribe, please don't. But if you did, again, like I said in my last video, I sincerely apologize if I said or did anything offensive. That's never my intention. I'm a person who wants to be fair and give my honest critique. And I don't want to lose a following because I said something wrong and stuff and everything. And if I did, I will come back and correct it and make it right and stuff. So bear with me, guys. But again, I appreciate you guys' all love and support. And I will be back on tomorrow to recap episodes 11 and 12 of Married at First Sight. So again, I got StreamYard now. So let me know if you guys like how I did this. If not, I'll have to go back to my old format, but we'll see how this does. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all again soon. Love you guys. Bye.